Hey guys, and welcome back for night 4. Night 4 already. Man, I hope you guys are still excited because I know I am. It's a fun time. So again, it's kind of different. We still need you to grab that night 4 bag out of your bag. Yep, it's that one. You know the drill. You got your craft in there. It's got your snack. Got your discussion questions. But we got to do some stuff before we learn a cool story tonight. And we got a good story. But before we do that, you know what you guys got to do? You guys got to put your dancing shoes on and get on up and get ready to do some dancing because we're going to sing some songs. Let's go.
Just enough strength to live for today. worship you. I worship you. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you, I worship you. You are here and you're healing every heart. I worship you, yeah, I worship you. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And that is who you are. Yeah, that is who you are. Yeah. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop. Jesus, you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. I know you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And that is who you are. That is who you are. Jesus, that is who you are.
The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and abundant in steadfast love. The Lord is good to all, and his mercy is over all that he has made. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. He fulfills the desire of those who fear him. He also hears their cry and saves them.
Oh my God. Is it over? Is it over?
Tracy, what's going on?
Oh, is the storm over? That was scary.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. It was just a little storm.
That was scary. And I was all by myself and all alone.
Tracy, we're never alone, ever. In the Bible, it even tells us that God is always with us and that we are never alone. We might not be able to see him, just like we can't see the wind, but we know that he's always with us.
Really?
Yeah, and I even have something for you to remind you of that. See?
Oh, yeah?
Look. Here you go.
Ooh, it's a whirligig.
It is. And that whirligig is a reminder that anytime the wind blows and you see it moving, that God is always with us. Even if we can't see him, he's with us in every situation at all times.
You know, that makes me feel better.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
See,
God is always with us.
he is all the time.
Even when we can't see him.
Even when we can't see him.
Oh boy.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Whew! I am so glad you guys are here, and I can't wait to tell you guys that we are never alone. But have you ever thought, what do we do when we feel alone? I mean, have you really thought about that? I know when I was growing up, I was able to go to my grandma and grandpa's house every summer, and I loved it. And I would go to my grandma and grandpa's house for 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, and I felt alone sometimes. I missed my mom and my dad a lot, but I wasn't necessarily alone. I mean, my grandma and grandpa were there, but I just really missed my mom and dad. And so you know how I know that my mom and dad were with me? Well, I mean, I was able to write letters, or I was able to call them. Sometimes I was able to take a picture or take something of them, like take something with their picture on it to kind of remind me that they're always with me. And nowadays it's a little bit simpler. I mean, we have cell phones and we can FaceTime and Zoom and all these crazy things that we can see them all the time. But it wasn't necessarily that easy. And even now, I mean, sometimes we could do stuff that can help us to remind us that our loved ones are with us. Maybe you had someone really, really special who passed away. And you can have something of theirs that you hold on to or have at your home or that you carry with you that kind of helps to remind you that you always have them with you. I know that I have some of my mom's stuff with me, and I'm always reminded that my mom's with me. But how do we know that God is always with us? And how do we know that we are never alone? And that's kind of a long story, but it's a cool story. And it's a story that starts over 2,000 years ago. That's a really long time. I mean, that's way older than you and way older for me. It's a long, long time ago. But it started with a young couple named Mary and Joseph. And Mary and Joseph were traveling, and Mary was about to have a baby. And that was tough. They didn't have cars or vans or trucks. They had to ride on a donkey or they had to walk. It was a hard time. And so they came to a place one night and they were going to stay there. But there was no rooms for them. There was no place for them to stay in the hotels or anywhere else. And this one place said, the only area that I have for you is in the stable or the manger. And that's the place where all the animals were in. And so he says, I can make a space for you there, and that's about as good as I have. And so Mary and Joseph, they didn't have any other option, and so they said, okay. And so there was a little baby boy born in that stable, next to the cows and the horses and maybe some chickens and some goats, and next to all of those animals. Could you imagine that? Could you picture being born right next to some animals, or if you were going on a trip and you had nowhere to go, you had to stay next to the cows? Man, that might be a little stinky. But now, that's so cool though. And Mary and Joseph, they named their son Jesus. And Jesus was named that because the angel came to his parents and said, you're gonna name him Jesus, or you're gonna name him Emmanuel. And Emmanuel means God with us. And that is a pretty cool thing. And so Jesus grew up and he got older and he got wiser, and Jesus began going around and telling all these people about who God was and what he's doing, just like what we're doing here. He was telling people all the great things that God had done and what God was doing, and he was showing them that God loves them. And to be honest, Jesus was getting a lot of people to follow him. A lot of people were really listening to what Jesus had to say. And a lot of people really liked what Jesus had to say. But there were some people who just did not like what he was saying at all. In fact, it made them so mad that they decided that they were going to try and find some reason to arrest Jesus and to put him in jail. What? That's crazy, isn't it? That Jesus, this amazing guy, he was telling about all the good things that God was doing, they wanted to arrest him. And so these guys, they decided that they were going to try and make up some plan of how to trap Jesus and to get him to say something that wasn't true. But we know Jesus, right? Jesus was too smart for that. So Jesus kept telling the people the truth, and we know that Jesus can't lie because he's from God. And so he just told people the truth. And he kept telling people about what God was doing and all the fantastic and wonderful things that he had done for them. And this still did not make the people happy. They were still very mad. And they couldn't find any reason to arrest him. And so they came to one of Jesus' followers and said, if you can tell us where we can find Jesus at, we will pay you money. And so the follower of Jesus, he said, oh yeah, I can definitely help you with that. I can tell you where he's going to be. And so for 30 silver pieces, which is a lot of money back then, the disciples said, tonight we are going to be in the garden and we're going to be praying. And so after Jesus had some dinner with his friends, his followers, they go to the garden and Jesus is praying. And while Jesus is praying, these guys come up and they arrest Jesus. And they take Jesus and they put him on trial, and they accuse Jesus of doing all these different things that they say that were bad, and Jesus didn't do them. But Jesus didn't fight back. He didn't argue with them. He just stayed silent. And eventually, they punish Jesus. They do some really, really bad things to him. Some really hurtful things, in fact. And then they say, well, you know what, Jesus, we're gonna hang you on a cross. And that was not fun at all. But Jesus didn't fight back. He said, okay, I'm going to do this. And so they lead Jesus up to this big hill, and they put him on a cross, and Jesus is up there. And Jesus dies for you and for me. And it was really sad. And all of his followers were really, really sad. In fact, they cried and they weren't sure what to do. But want to know something really cool? It's really cool. Jesus came back to life. Yeah. 3 days later, Jesus came up from the grave and he was alive and he was with his followers and he spent some more time with them. And they told him lots and lots of different things, and he was still teaching them so that when he would leave again to go to heaven, that they wouldn't be so sad. And one of the cool things that Jesus said and taught them was that he was going to give them a gift. We all like gifts, right? Do you guys like gifts? I like gifts. I like to get them and I like to give them, and we like to get them for our birthdays and for Christmas and maybe Easter. We like to get gifts. So his disciples and his followers were very happy to hear that. But it might not be a gift that you and I would be thinking, right? It wasn't clothes, or it wasn't that special toy. It wasn't that one thing that we really, really wanted. It was that thing that they needed, but they didn't know they needed. You guys get that, right? For Christmas, I always got a gift that I didn't want, but I needed it. That happens. And so Jesus tells his followers that I am going to give you a helper. Someone who's going to remind you that I am with you. And he's going to remind you of all the things that I taught you. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, how cool is that? That he was going to send someone to help them to be reminded that God is with them. I need a reminder too. I need a reminder for all sorts of stuff. On my phone, I have a reminder to take my medicine and to wake up and when I have appointments and all sorts of stuff. When stuff is due, I need a reminder for everything. So it would be cool to have a reminder to remember who Jesus was, wouldn't it? And so Jesus says, I'm going to send you the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is going to live inside of us. And that gift wasn't just for his disciples then, but it's also for us now. And so now we have this amazing gift as Christians, as people who believe in Jesus, that lives inside of us. And so even though we might feel alone, even though we might not ever feel like we could see God, we know that God is real, and we know that God is with us because he lives inside of us. When we become Christians, we allow the Holy Spirit to live inside of us. And that's a cool thing. It's a constant reminder of all the things that God has taught us and what God is doing and what God has done. And it's a reminder that no matter where we are in our life, no matter where we find ourselves, no matter if there's a scary storm outside or a bad snowstorm, or if it's dark, or if it's in a closed building that's really tight, or maybe it's on the top of a roller coaster and we're all scared, we're never alone. Because God is always with us. Because even though Jesus died so that we could become a part of his family, he sent us the Holy Spirit so that we could be reminded that we're never alone. And so I want you guys to know that. Even when you guys feel alone, when you guys feel scared, or when you guys feel sad, to know that no matter what, we always have God living in our heart. Always. And he's living inside of us. And you and I, we all have that. And that's something super cool. And that's only because God is Emmanuel. God is with us, always. No matter where we are, no matter what situation we find ourselves in. God is always with us. And that, my friends, is actually pretty cool. But as we've done every other night so far, we've got some memory verses to learn. So we're going to take a moment and we're going to learn our memory verse. We're going to do that, and we're going to say that together, and we're going to have some fun with it, okay? You guys ready? Here we go. So here is our memory verse for the day. You guys ready for it? While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And so while we didn't deserve Jesus to die for us, he still did because he loved us. And while we might do bad things, we all do bad things, Jesus died for us so that we could be a part of his family. And we're reminded of that with the Holy Spirit. So our memory verse is that while we were still sinners, Jesus died for us. It's pretty cool, isn't it? That Jesus died for you and for me. So let's say that one more time, really loud and excited to know that Jesus died for us so we could be a part of his family. You guys ready? While we're still sinners, Jesus died for us. You guys rocked it tonight. Let's see what Crafty Kelly's doing in her craft shack today.
Welcome back, guys.
Hey.
I actually was halfway ready for you. I was hoping you'd come back. So I'm just going to jump right in here. Because it's sure windy out today, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been very windy. And I was just thinking, I had some extra, wire and some wood, and I think that a wind chime would be really awesome to make today, especially since it's been so windy. I mean, this has been all over the place, and
Let's put these back where they belong.
Okay. So, you have a bag that looks like this in your crafts. Ours is separate. There's one stick. And a bag. Sorry. Alright. So, we're going to open this up. So there should be 4 pipe cleaners in there. There should also be 4 bells. first thing that we're gonna do, I'm gonna set that aside so maybe you can see what I'm doing. All right, you're gonna take the bottom part of the pipe cleaner and stick it through the bell. And then
If you have trouble with that, get your parent, grandparent, whoever's watching this with you to help.
And then you're just going to twist. So I got that one done before I got a chance to say anything. So you got it through like that. You're going to fold it over, and then you're just going to twist. So then it should be able to do that. So then just set it aside and move on to the next one. And again, it doesn't matter what your pipe cleaners, what colors they are. As you can tell, we have different colors. We should be getting pretty close to being done with the last one, and then we can move on to step 2. All right, so after you have all 4 of your pipe cleaners finished, we are going to take the wood bead and add one about almost all the way down, just like that, on each one. So initially we're going to be building all together, all 4 pipe cleaners.
And don't worry, you will have extra wood beads left. You'll see what those are for.
I'm going to go ahead and add that one on there too. But it'll be later, so still set those aside. Okay, after you get your wood beads, are you caught up yet, kid?
Yes, I am caught up.
Okay, let's keep going. We're going to add
A
a
clear
clear
bead.
bead. And you're going to do the same thing, just
Add
a
it.
little further up.
Aha, I got purple.
And again, do it with all 4. And you noticed you had 4 extra clear beads. Set those aside and grab those wood beads that we had set aside and pull them back over. If you're getting the hint, we're making a pattern. So we're going to grab and do the same thing, just a little bit further down.
My wood bead isn't going onto my pipe cleaner.
Some of the wood beads have a little bit of
There we
problem trying to get on there, so you'll just have to kind of work it through. If
There
you
we
have
go.
any problems, grab mom or dad and see if they can help you. All right, and I'm on my last ones. We've got the 4 clear beads. We're gonna grab those, and those are gonna barely be on there, so get those on there. All right, so now I am finished with my beading of my pipe cleaners. So you saw the little purple wire, and yes, favorite color's purple, so you got purple. We are going to take your stick and your purple wire. We're going to go roughly about the same length in as your pipe cleaner and your top bead. And you're going to wrap the wire around and around.
Twice.
At least twice. You can wrap it maybe, I'm going to do 4 times.
I'm just
If
going
I
to
can-
do 3.
If I can.
And then
Get
what
it
you want to
stuck.
do is grab right here. Okay? You want to grab the wire and then spin your wood to get that nice and tight.
Grab my wire and spin my wood. What do you mean? Oh, you gotta leave the piece up.
Yeah.
Okay. She said wire. This is wire. This piece of wire, this inky dinky little thing right here. You grab that wire as it's wrapped around and you spin your wood.
You do the same on the other side. Well, you're going to have to spin your wire and not your wood. And then
Okay.
you get this. For once, I'm not behind.
Okay. If you're with me, same thing on this side. Around 4 times. Grab this piece of wire. You can also do the red tie twist. Either way, it's the same. So, this is the part that you're going to hang. Oh, but Kelly, how do I do this part? Well, alright, so choose a color and do what we did with the bell. Alright, we're going to wrap it around and then we're going to twist. Do the bread tie twist again. That should be a song, the bread tie twist. Doo-wop, shoo-doo-wop. Alright, then we're going to grab another one. A little further down, do the bread tie twist. Then we're going to grab the third one, put it over there again, and do the bread tie twist. There should be some sort of a cool song with this. I think it would be awesome. And the last one, and do the bread tie twist. Okay, you think we're done? Almost. I like twisting the wire so much that we're going to take, hopefully you guys have a pencil or some sort of a straight item that represents a pencil or a pen even, maybe mom and dad have a pen. And we're going to take and we're going to wrap our wire, not our wire, our pipe cleaner around, and then pull the wire out, or the straight edge.
And it leaves it curly. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
So, as you can see for mine, you have the curly ones, and then I haven't done these yet. How are yours so curly?
Well, just remember that if you're doing it really tight and close together, it's going to be a tighter curl. If you do it more loose, it's going to be a lot smaller of a curl. We're almost finished. We got one more. So why again did we decide on a wind chime? It was really windy. It was really windy, but what was with the wind? What was it that we were saying with the wind? It's invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, just like God's invisible.
Yeah, but he's always there.
Just like the wind is always there, right?
Yeah.
That's probably what we were thinking, wasn't it?
Probably.
Well, that's pretty cool. So whenever you hear this in the wind, that's so cool. Of course, I have to shake it, but you know. Ooh. If you shake it, you can remember that God's with you always, just like the wind. We'll see you guys tomorrow on our last day.
Bye.
Bye.
Over my something good. Through the darkest night, you are on my side. You were always faithful. Through my fear and doubt, you will lead me out. You were always able. Through the darkest night, you are on my side. You were always faithful. Through my fear and doubt, you will lead me out. I know that you are always up to something good. I know that you are always up to something good. You'll make a way, whatever it takes. There's nothing your love won't endure. I know that you are always up to something good. You'll make a way, whatever it takes. There's nothing your love won't endure. I know that you are always up to something good. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart. I've got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Where? Down in the depths of my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. Joy unspeakable that won't go away, and just enough strength to live for today. So I never have to worry what tomorrow will bring, 'cause my faith is on a solid rock. I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. Joy unspeakable that won't go away, and just enough strength to live for today. So I never have to worry what tomorrow will bring, 'cause my faith is on a solid rock. I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God. I am counting on, I am counting on God.
Night 4 is just ending, guys. And what a night it's been. We had to help Tracker Tracy get over her fears of that big thunderstorm that happened. We learned that God is always with us. No matter where we are or who we're with, God is always there. And even though we can't see Him, we know that He's still there because we can feel Him and because of the Holy Spirit. Tonight we found the whirly gig, and it helps us to just remember that even though we can't see it, just like we can't see the air, we still know that God is there just as the air is there. And it's been a great night. Again, we encourage you guys to go do something. Help a neighbor, do something nice for someone, donate something to the Kids Closet, pack a bag for someone who's going to school and who needs it. Whatever it is, we encourage you guys to go do a mission on your own and support and show the love of Jesus to someone else. Have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.